What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, plump, amazing, scratch-made smoked summer sausage. Coming up. This is some meat. Ooh. Pat it dry. And what I got here is a pretty lean looking chunk of some beef chuck, as well as some pretty fatty looking pork belly, aiming for about 2 pounds of each. And that should give us a nice fat ratio for this sausage. But of course, it's up to you. You could do all beef, you could do all pork, or whatever you got, because today we're making summer sausage. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you're probably aware that I already made a summer sausage video. But in that video, I had a little bit of a mishap where I forgot to add pink curing salt into the sausage. So at the end of the day, I was left with a sausage that was really pale in color and probably not safe to eat. So today is my redemption. I'm gonna make this properly and hopefully it comes out just as tasty as the last one. So to get things started, I'm just gonna chunk this up so it fits into the meat grinder a little bit easier. Remove any big chunks of sinew or fat if I see fit, although I usually just leave it all in. And I'm gonna weigh it out because like I said, I want 2 pounds of beef and 2 pounds of pork. And just like that, all chunked up. So into the freezer this goes for the next 30-40 minutes to get nice and cold. Next up, let's go ahead and get our spices ready for the summer sausage. Starting with some kosher salt, some pink curing salt, definitely not forgetting this time, some granulated garlic, some mustard seeds, some paprika, a little bit of sugar, some nutmeg, some black pepper, coriander, pinch of allspice, dry mustard, and for our binder today I'm going in with some Sous Vide, which is a carrot-based binder that works really well. And get that all nice and mixed up. And now that the meat is nice and cold, through the meat grinder we go. Going through the small die today, we're just gonna send it through once. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna mix this in the stand mixer here, just to make sure we get a really nice tacky bind on this sausage. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this in one batch or not, but I might as well try. Meat goes in, spices go in as well. Paddle attachment going on, and we mix away. And once everything is come together a little bit, we're gonna go in with our liquid, which is just some water, and that should help make this nice and sticky. I'm gonna work it for probably 2-3 minutes. Beautiful. I don't know why I don't do this more often. It works really quickly. And let's work with your hands. Always a plus. But looking nice and tacky. I came through and I scraped it all down in the middle in case it was all clumping up like this. But at this point, we're gonna go in with our last ingredient, which is encapsulated citric acid, which is gonna add that signature tang that all summer sausage has. And like I was explaining last time, if you were gonna just add regular citric acid, it would start cooking the meat, kind of like ceviche, which is why they make encapsulated citric acid, which is just citric acid with an oil or a film of some sort around it. So when it goes in there, it'll be protected from the meat, and as soon as we get some heat on it, it'll melt the outer coating and infuse all the flavor at the right moment, so everything works out perfectly. So in we go. Actually, I'm gonna do it while it's running. And the reason I'm adding this at the very end is because pretty rough process mixing in here, and I don't want to burst them. So we're just gonna mix this in till it's nice and incorporated, and we'll pull it out. And out we come. Probably give this a few more kneads just to make sure that that citric acid is indeed evenly distributed, and we'll case it up. For our casing today, I got this 3-inch by 20-inch fibrous casing, which is great because it'll still allow smoke to penetrate it. And I think it's a little bit shorter than the one I used last time, so we might end up making 2 of these things. But either way, I've had this soaking in warm water for like 10 minutes just to make it a little more pliable. And on we go. And now we case away, trying to be as nice and plump and full as possible. The beauty of these fibrous casings is that they're not nearly as delicate as a natural one. But I'm sure you probably still could pop it. Ooh, yeah, nice and big. It's probably a good thing that I'm making 2 instead of 1 gigantic one, because it was huge last time. Nice and turgid. We'll see if I can eyeball this to be 2 similar sized logs. Off it comes, twist it up, and I'm gonna tie off this end with a bit of string that I forgot to bring out here. Again, beautiful, and there we go. Let's do it again. I feel like I'm forgetting something. It might just be deja vu from last time, but it'd be real awkward if I screwed this up twice. This one's definitely gonna be a lot shorter, guys. Yep, messed that up. That's fine. That's all she wrote. A little cute chub. And just like that, all cased up, looking good, good, good. So now I'm gonna pop these in the fridge to cure overnight. I'm gonna do my best to make enough room so I can hang them from these to create some good pressure in there. So we'll come back and check in on these tomorrow. One overnight hang later, and these are looking pretty much exactly the same, but firmed up a bit, looking nice and tight. And now I think it's time to fire up the pit. So we're going with a pretty classic cold smoke today, and as you can see, I just loaded up that pellet tube with some post oak pellets, and my plan was to pop that rotisserie rod through here and just hang this in the middle, but it is just barely, slightly too long. So I have to do my kind of janky method where I'm gonna just hook it in to the top of the firebox. But this little guy, let's hang him off to the side over here. Actually, I'll hang him on the thermometer. Love it. And there we go. Beautiful. Nicely suspended, got a good amount of smoke in there, so now I'm just gonna let this smoke away for the next few hours. All right, we're about 7 hours into this cold smoke, and let's see how we're looking. Ooh, got some beautiful color on there. I mean, look at that, folks, come on. That's beautiful, nice and smoky, beautiful red color. It is funny though, it seems a little bit fatter at the bottom since it's been hanging. Not sure if that picks up on camera, but pretty cool. But now what I'm gonna do is set this aside for a minute, because what we need to do now is get that thing up to temp, because it's been just chilling at room temp all day long. Luckily we have the pink curing salt in there, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm gonna build a little fire in here and get this thing up to an internal temp of about 150 degrees. Check in on little baby summer sausage Cole over here. Looking great too. Yeah, this little guy out of there, it's still got a couple wisps of smoke left. Also gonna chunk in this little piece of post oak to get a little more flame and a little more smoke on this thing. Got a nice little fire going over here, and I also found a much easier way to hang these up, but I'm gonna develop something that'll make this job a little bit easier. But in they go, shut this down. Probably gonna cook these around 250 or so. Don't wanna render too much fat out, just kinda wanna slowly bring them up and get them a little more smoky. And after an hour or two at 250, this guy is coming off the pit and looking absolutely beautiful, darkened up a lot. Definitely got a lot more smoke flavor on there, and it's just looking magnificent, feeling nice and plump. So now, into the ice bath we go. And of course we got the little guy too, but I was using this one to probe to make sure it was up to temp, and as you can see, it leached out a lot of fat. You see it dripping down, wrinkled up top. So I'm really glad I made a big one and a small one, but this will be a little sacrificial link. But in we go. I'm gonna leave these in here for a good little bit, because these are some big thick logs, and we need to make sure they cool down. Alrighty, it's been about 15 minutes. These should be nice and cooled down, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a nice wipe to dry it off and clean up any ash or soot that may be on there, because everybody loves a clean weenie. And you probably could slice into this right now, but it's starting to get dark and I want to eat this tomorrow. Also, I'm gonna let it chill in the fridge overnight one more time, just to make sure it's cold all the way through, and give it a little more time for that smoke to permeate and let that color develop. So I'm gonna hang it up again, and I'll check back in with y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all, it is the next day, and I think it's finally time to see how these beauties came out. Gotta say, looking good, feeling nice. I'm gonna go ahead and just slice this one right in half. And now it's time for the big reveal. Does it look better than my first attempt? Oh yeah, that is exactly what we're looking for, folks. That is a beautiful bind on there. See those mustard seeds popping? It's got that nice reddish pink hue to it. Looks a lot like summer sausage. It's so smoky looking, nice and red. Beautiful. And if you've never made summer sausage before, I highly recommend it. It's really a pretty easy process, and when you're looking at something like this that you made, it's pretty gratifying. But first thing I'm gonna do is cut off this casing, because that is not edible, and it peels right off. And there we have it. Beautiful smoke flavor on there. Loving the color. Pretty happy about this, but I guess we got to figure out, how does it taste? Just get some slices out of this. You could pop this on the meat slicer if you wanted to, but I'm not really trying to get razor thin here. And there we have it. I think this is looking pretty good. Nice bind on there, not falling apart at all. Good fat content to it. Pretty happy. And there it is, folks, in all its glory. Some nice, properly cured, properly smoked, scratch-made, beautiful smoky summer sausage. And of course, we got some crackers and cheese, because gotta be done. But let's see how this came out. Gotta tell you, folks, I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, ever since I messed up that first batch. And yeah, let's see how it is. Oh, that is so good. That is delicious. It's got that perfect amount of smoke, and the flavor is right there, not too salty. It's got that classic tang that a lot of summer sausage has, but it's not overpowering. That is so good. Pretty juicy too. Good fat content. Wow, that's phenomenal. Oh, Honestly, I was a little concerned that it would be too smoky with like 5 hours of cold smoke and then another 2 hours of really heavy post oak and charcoal smoke, but that's phenomenal. And it's funny, last time I made this, I remember it being a really big process and I was really stressed out the whole time, but this one came together really quickly, probably because I've already made it and already gone through all the pains of screwing it up, but it comes together really easily. And it's really nice only making one, or in this case, 2 sausages, as opposed to making like 800 if you're doing a big batch of little sausages. But highly recommend giving this one a try, y'all. This is good. But I need to make a little cracker. Let's cut it in half. Yeah, that'll work. A little extra meat never hurt anybody. We're going cheese first. Tillamook sharp cheddar, that is, folks. That's a good bite right there. The sharpness of that cheese really makes for a great snack. I'm just gonna keep going because this is really good. Ow. And I'm curious, next time I make this, I'm gonna try and make it in one day. You know, use a cure accelerator, smoke it for 5-6 hours, cold bath it, and then just slice in. I'm sure it'd work out, but sometimes spending 3 days to make something ensures perfect end results. But before I head on out of here, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make summer sausage the correct way. I highly recommend giving this one a try. It really is a fantastic end result, and it's so much better than anything I've ever bought at the store. Not to mention, this would make for a great gift. It'll vac seal and freeze and keep for a really long time, and a great thing to have on hand for any picnic or barbecue that you're going to. I would even put this on a barbecue menu. I think that would make for a great cold side. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!